Greetings, fellow Ghanaians. I greet all of you in the name of my Lord Jesus Christ. My name remains Apostle Chris Levi Jiwon. Let's talk about the National Cathedral. But this, I am not about to express an opinion about the decision of government, but I'm here to reveal to you the truth of God concerning this matter. Before I do so, let me clarify this about the sitting president, John Dramani Mahama, respectfully. You see, Mr. President, you do not win this election because you are a better candidate of any of your opponents. You won this election because there was a covenant that you broke, which was the National Prayer and Thanksgiving Service. So God brought you back so that those things can be corrected. You did not win election because you were a better candidate. No. God brought you back so that the wrong that were done, the errors that were committed by you when you were in power in the time past, that is breaking the National Prayer and Thanksgiving Service as a covenant over the nation. For now, you have not yet obeyed God in truth concerning this matter. Whatever the nation is experiencing is grace. I pray that it should not be too late. Now, let me now touch on the issue. After clarifying this, let me touch on this. So, the president, you were brought back so that by your leadership, you adhere to divine instruction, not political thinking. Because the resetting of the foundation of the nation of Ghana is not a political talk. It is more of a spiritual matter. Many errors we committed that have affected our nation and the progress of the nation. That is why God brought you back. So that through you, as a starter, will correct all the errors that have been committed spiritually, so that the foundation of our nation can be reset properly. For that matter, that is why you need to be very careful the step you are going to take. You need to be very careful, Mr. President, respectfully. So this is bringing me to the issue of the National Cathedral. Mr. President, I don't know what the prophet and the people around you are advising you to do. I don't know whether they are telling you the spiritual implication, because I listened to you talking about and alluded to the fact that if Nanado could have asked the Lord, he could not have asked him to build a National Cathedral to him. And the decision you're going to take, building hospitals and etc., God could have been happy with you doing that for him. Mr. President, covenant issues does not sometimes make sense. Not to go too much into that. But Mr. President, I'm calling your attention to this truth. Do not touch the National Cathedral. Again, with all humility, do not touch the National Cathedral. It was the same mistake you committed when you took power and you put aside the National Prayer and Thanksgiving Service, which was a covenant over the nation, but you never knew. But this one, you are aware of it, that it was a vow somebody made, Nanado made unto the Lord. If Nanado made a vow unto the Lord, let it remain a vow. So, Mr. President, do not once again break another covenant over the nation. You are not the one who entered it. But let me humbly submit to you, even our families, covenantal rules of families predominantly are done by our elders. You may not know something about it, but at the end of the day, if the covenant is entered, it's a covenant, whether you like it or not. It is binding over the family, and so it is binding over the nation. If Nanado have made a promise, please stay away from it. If you cannot build it, Mr. President, I am speaking by the voice of the Lord. If you take the step of undoing this covenant, as Nanado made unto the Lord, as the National Cathedral is concerned, and do otherwise, you are going to plunge the nation into chaos. This is the truth. The prophet around you, let them check if I am lying. When God showed me, let me conclude on this matter. When God showed me about the National Cathedral, everything covenant, I go to my father, he speaks to me. I'm not claiming I'm the only person God speaks to. I'm just delivering what God has told me. When God showed me the issue of the National Cathedral, and I visited in the realm of the spirit concerning the National Cathedral, I was amazed. I saw one prophet of God in the nation, Prophet Owusu Bampah. I saw his footprint all over the National Cathedral in the realms. So I asked the father, what about this? Because I wanted to know more truth about it. And God said he chose already a servant who knows all about the National Cathedral already. And that is Prophet Owusu Bampah. So if you really want to know the truth and the spiritual connotations about the National Cathedral, speak to Prophet Owusu Bampah. Now this go to Prophet Owusu Bampah. I know you have griefs with MPP, but the issue of the National Cathedral is a covenant. And Father said you know something about it. You know more details about it. Speak up. Do not be silent. Do not be quiet as a prophet of God. If an error is going to be committed by a sitting president, and you know the truth about this matter, do not sit down and allow this to happen, because it is about the nation. It's not about political party. So Prophet Owusu Bampah, I call you out. The Prof, rise up and do the right thing. Speak about the National Cathedral and let the right thing be done. Let the right thing be done, because your footprint is all over it, as I check in the realm of the spirit. So Prophet Owusu Bampah, please, I call on you. Break your mute about this matter. Do not sit down for President Mahama to do otherwise. And this covenant is concerned. You know the spiritual blessings. You know the spiritual implications concerning this matter. So I call on you, Prophet Owusu Bampah, stand up for the right to be done. God bless you, my fellow believers.